Hi, I'm Justin, and today I'm going to show you how to install a new sink. Starting off my sink install, I had to replace my garbage disposal. The new disposal did not come with the power cord, so that was the first step. The packaging says the ribbed wire, which is this one's got little tiny ribs. I don't think you can see those. Little tiny ribs. This means that is the neutral wire, and then the smooth one, there's no ribs on this one, is the hot wire. And of course, green is ground. You want to route the wires through the hole and connect. On the disposal, the white is the neutral and the black is the hot wire. You want to secure those with wire nuts and screw in the ground wire. I like to go back with electrical tape and secure the fittings. You want to tighten the screws around the power outlet to hold it in place, and then replace the cover plate, and you are done with the disposal.
Little pop out?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
He just had this propped up under one of the clips. Good construction. When starting with the sink, you want to first shut off the water. There should be one for the hot and one for the cold. Mine just had a pull tab that you pulled until it clicked and then the water was shut off. You'll want to remove any of the existing piping and water connections from the sink, and then you'll move on to disconnecting the sink from the countertop. There will be a silicone seal running around. This keeps it in place and keeps it watertight. I just used a screwdriver to pry it up, and then we pulled until it popped out. You'll then want to remove the old silicone. It's best if you use a paint scraper, but I couldn't find mine at the time, so I used the flat end of a screwdriver. We wanted to do as much as we could with the sink while it was still outside of the countertop, so we installed the faucet so that we didn't have to mess with it once it was in place. It was pretty easy. All you do is thread the lines through the hole in the sink and then tighten with the nut provided, but don't forget the rubber washers like we almost did. We then attach the hot and cold water lines to the inlets on the faucet. It is a lot easier to do this while the sink is still outside of the countertop. If your sink has an adjustable nozzle like mine does, it will come with a weight. All you do is snap that on at the adjusted length. Now we're ready to apply a new bead of silicone around the sink edge so that we can place the sink in. This will give it a watertight seal and help hold it in place. Once that's done, all you do is drop the sink in place. A bit of the silicone did squeeze out, so all we did is wipe down the edges. Now we're going to install the drains. You're just going to use stuff called plumber's putty. You put it around the edges of the drain, and this keeps a watertight seal on it for the life of the sink. After the drain fitting is in, you want to install the mounting piece for the garbage disposal. This keeps a compression fit and holds that drain down tight.
I'm usually down there.
Time to reinstall the pipe fittings. You should still be able to use the existing pipe unless it was damaged. The garbage disposal just clicks on to the mounting plate that we installed earlier.
Yeah.
Because my sink is a different size than the previous one, I did have to custom fit some of the pipe. I just cut off a couple inches. Because of the positioning of the drain pipe, I did have to get a new 1.5 inch flexible P-trap. This actually really helped save me a ton of work and headaches in the long run. Once the new pipes are installed, you want to hand tighten all of the connections. So I had to replace this guy with this guy because the sink is not in the same position that it was as my other one. So this was coming directly down on this. So they sell these like custom fit pipes and you can like bend it, which is really nice. And it is able to fit. So once the drainage pipes are all in, you want to reconnect the water lines, the hot and the cold. I did have to get a 1/2-inch nipple with 2 male ends on it to fit the cold water line because both of them had female inlets, and then the hot water hooked right up. After that, you should almost be done. Just plug the garbage disposal back in. The outlet should be labeled. I haven't tested out the new garbage disposal yet, so. Sounds like it's working. That was the most expensive part. That was like 90 bucks for the garbage disposal, but the other one was cracked and leaking, so I had to fix it. So I had to install a new sink because my old garbage disposal was leaking and it was like draining through the power cord, and I was like, that's not good. That's not normal. So I've wanted a new sink for a long time. My parents had a granite composite single basin, so I was looking for one of those, but I couldn't find, well, I found one, but I went to the store and they're like 300 bucks at Home Depot and at Lowe's. And so I looked on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and luckily one day I ran across this on Facebook Marketplace. They were trying to get rid of it. They had it for a while. I was able to get it for a steal. I got this, it goes for $300. I saw this in Lowe's. I took a picture, I'll put it up here. I got this, normally $300. I got it for 50 bucks because there was a tiny, tiny crack on the edge here that I filled with some epoxy. You can't even see that it's there. It's nothing structural and it looks totally fine. This is a double basin. I really wanted the single basin, but for 50 bucks, I couldn't pass this up. And then I was looking for the faucet because I really like this oil brushed, I think they call it oil rub bronze, something like that. I really like that look, and I wanted the one with the full handle because those are just nice for cleaning. But those are also like $200, and I was like, I can't spend more on the faucet than I did on the sink. Well, I ended up spending a little bit more. I found this on Amazon. Amazon saves the day for 70 bucks, and so far it is exactly what I wanted. Nice and tall. It looks really nice. It fits the sink perfectly. I did take the garbage disposal and the other sink drain. They were just regular silver ones. I actually painted them to match the sink and match the oil rub bronze. I put on this metallic paint primer all in one. It's meant for like outdoor use. You can use it on plastic, metal, and wood. So hopefully it stands up. I don't know if it's gonna make it the whole time. It's probably gonna get scratched and stuff, but I can always touch it up a little bit. But it made it look so much nicer than just having like the silver in there. But it looks pretty much exactly like that. They had them at the store, they were selling them, but it was like $50 for a set. And I was able to get that one for $7. And then I just painted the one that came with the garbage disposal. So $7 plus $5 can of paint, so $13 investment versus $50. This was a budget build. It definitely was. And all together came out to be under $120 for a practically brand new composite granite sink. I had a lot of help from my dad. Thank you, Dad. He had the knowledge of installing a sink because this one was a little over my head. Never worked with plumbing. So far, so good. Put like a bucket in there and lay some paper towels down, because just because it doesn't show any leaks in the beginning doesn't mean that it still won't leak. We don't have any leaks yet, but I'll keep checking on that, and I'm really excited with how this looks. I'll catch you next time. Well, we got a leak. Ew, it stinks. Slut.